A question. What do you think of the Duke of Oriflamme?
You build a life for yourself somewhere, only for some noble to turn up and tell you you've got to hand it all over to him. If he thinks his name and his chains give him the right to empty our purses, he's in for a rude awakening. We'll do whatever it takes to keep what's ours. Whatever it takes.
Well, the people seem united enough. What about the soldiers?
If he comes calling, the only thing I'm giving the Duke of Oriflamme's a piece of my mind. And maybe a smack in the gob.
I heard that... Ain't got an icon to rid the meadows and acres. But there were ghosts at the gates, not these.
You needn't fret. The creatures have been...
Those things I said before about not being able to fight.
You didn't mean them. No. That's not the way.
You're the one who was talking to His Eminence.
On the Dame's behalf, yes. I was trying to persuade him not to take the people's goodwill for granted, but it seems my words fell on deaf ears. What do you think of his plans?
I'm a soldier, mate. He tells me what to do, not the other way round. Listen, I've got nothing but respect for the Dame, but I've got a family to look after. That's where my loyalties lie, not with the town or the Empire, but with my wife and children. If the Duke can get us the men and the equipment we need to fight off those blue-skinned bastards, I don't care how he does it. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the Dame, but I'm with the Duke on this one. If turning this place into a fortress is what it takes to...
As long as you remain, the Vale will see to your needs.
Embarrassing.
I hear the Duke of Oriflamme plans to turn this town into some sort of fortress. Do you think that's a good idea?
It's not for me to say. All I know is that unless the Emperor orders me otherwise, His Eminence's word is law. Look, no one likes all these taxes and tariffs, but empires don't come for free. And once Sanbreque is back on her feet, we'll all reap the benefits. What the common folk don't understand is, this is for them too. Either we turn the Empire back into a force to be reckoned with, or we live in fear the rest of our lives.
It's heartening to see that the Guard have rediscovered their purpose. I just hope they don't do anything stupid.
Excuse me, do you have a moment? I wondered if you'd mind sharing your
Well, he's made a lot of... I mean, look around us.
The traders might not like having the screws put on them, but if they've volunteered, a few more of their hard-earned think the Duke's got a point when he says... And if that means people who don't know one end of a sword from another have to make way for those who do, well, that's just how it goes.
Let's see what Philippe makes of all this.
I mean, it'd be nice if we could all do whatever the hell we wanted and not end up being torn to shreds by a swarm of fiends. But we can't, so we've got to make sacrifices, just like the Duke of Oriflamme says.
Captain, do you have a moment?
For you? Certainly. Clive, wasn't it? Thank you for last time. How can I help you?
I wanted to ask you about the Duke of Oriflamme. Do you intend to go along with his plan?
But to tell you the truth, I'm in two minds. It's my sworn duty as a captain of the Imperial Army to obey his orders. But I can't say I agree with him.
Philippe, I remember you saying that you became a soldier to protect the people you loved. The Dame included.
That's right, I did.
Well, she doesn't agree with the Duke's orders either. She thinks they could tear Northreach apart.
And she's probably right. Thank you, Clive. I know what I need to do now. Protecting the people I love is what matters. Doesn't matter how. Well, duty calls, so I better go. Thanks again.
It seems Philippe wants to do the right thing at least. I expect Isabel will be pleased to hear that, if nothing else.
Ah, Clive. How did you fare? Were you able to speak with the Duke?
I was, but...
So Northreach is to be a fortress after all. Well, it will certainly help, though I doubt it will come. They deserve to be heard, Clive.
Sadly, His Eminence value. I fear he sees needless to say, the soldiers, and not just...
I thought had I sworn to thank you.
I don't know about...
What happened to your uniform?
I handed it in, along with my resignation. Told the lads I wished them well, but that I owe it to those I love to call it a day.
But why?
Because I realize what really matters to me. Not following some nobleman's orders for the sake of it, but protecting what I care about. Protecting Northreach. I honestly don't know when those monsters will return, but I'm certain they're not finished with us yet. And when they do come back, we need to be ready for them. We need to stand together, all of us. And with you to lead us, milady, I reckon we can do it. It was you who finally convinced me, Clive. There's no point following orders if they go against everything you believe.
Indeed.
All of us. Standing. That has always been Northreach's best hope. We have only to turn. Thank you, Philippe.
Anything for you. Speaking of standing together, would you mind if I borrowed a few of the lads from the Vale to help keep watch? I fear His Eminence
Not at all.
wouldn't be the first.
There may be hope for North, especially with me. I, for my part, shall continue to, but I suspect I shall until then.
Until then.
Despite my repeated advances, His Eminence has proven a difficult But, be that as it may, I might yet need you to press. Point. So many were injured.
Those things I said before. About not being
Let of us believe these.
You've heard then? The Duke plans to make Northreach a fortress and would have the townspeople pay for it. We are not only to build his walls.
What did the Duke expect? That the merchants would just smile and hand over the keys to their coffers?
I swore to protect this town and the people I love. I don't need a uniform to do that.
You've heard then? The Duke plans to make Northreach a fortress and would have the townspeople pay for it. We are not only to build his walls, but feed his army and fill his stores, all for the privilege of living under his rule.
This is my father's store.
Good girl. Enough of you, are there? Thanks, Cal. Two down, one to go.
What's happened? The guards at the gate are all right, old man.
Ah, Clive. You'll be pleased.
That is good news.
Yes. Our comrade in Randala, I still have much and more. You couldn't do me a quick favor.
What is it this time?
Nothing like that. I just need you to go over to the caravan, find out exactly how much faster I...
All right.
Thanks, Clive.
Don't blame yourself, El. This is... I know, no buts.
Is something wrong?
Bonnie came to give me a message from our intermediary. The talks with the Republican army have reached an agreement with the Silver Peak Consortium instead. Though prices have fallen of late, we deliberately offered above the going rate to try and deter other bidders. But the Consortium offered double what we did, and the army jumped at the chance.
And you had no opportunity?
None at all.
Elle?
And with good reason.
But I thought we were the only ones the Fist were speaking to about the bearers. How did the Consortium even find out about this?
It's not so surprising. They have ears all over the Republic. This isn't over. The Consortium will have to sell these bearers eventually, and at the price they paid, buyers will be few and far between. I'm going to Randalar myself.
Alone? You sure that's wise?
Are you offering to be my bodyguard? How kind. Meet me at the checkpoint near the Capital Gates. I'll send an owl ahead and request a meeting. You go to Cashlock, Theo, and get everything ready. We've waited far too long as it is. Even if I fail to free these bearers, there will be others. Someone needs to prepare the place and keep any prowling beasts at bay.
Oh, and that's me, is it? Well, it looks like I'm following orders till she gets back from meeting the Silver Peak Consortium, who've been doing their best to undermine our scheme. She'll never join them after this, surely. No, she said it herself. She still has plans for Cashlock, even if this one falls through. She means to stay with us, then. I can't say I'm not happy.
You have to try.
You're right. It's what she wants now. And if Elle's off fighting for the cause, I should do more. So I bid you, I'll gather my... You go...
I'll do... All right. To Randalar, then. I'd better not keep Eloise waiting.
What are you looking for? May Gilbert smile upon you. Well met. You're welcome anytime.
What I wouldn't give for a hot meal.
Looks like this is the end of the road for us.
When are they gonna let us through?
I hope I didn't keep you waiting. Did you arrange to speak with the consul?
Here they are now.
You wish to consult with me?
I did. It's about the bearers you recently purchased. We had all but finished making arrangements to buy them ourselves.
You misunderstand. The Consortium had an interest in purchasing them from the very first. It was only our regard for you that kept us from bidding. But your hesitancy in accepting our offer to you suggested that the regard was not mutual. And so we resumed our business.
I did not hesitate. I am simply not inclined to make such decisions without first giving them. But what is done is done. Come then. How much do you want for them?
Alas, you are too late yet again. We rarely take on such unconventional merchandise without a purchaser in mind. The bearers belong to him now.
Who is your buyer?
A trader from across the water. A most demanding fellow, if it's any con. He insisted the bearers be fed, dressed, even given their own bunks for the voyage over. That's what you get when you deal with continental types.
I wouldn't know.
Oh yes, the culture on the continent is quite different to ours. They pay good money for bearers not fit for the knacker's yard, and treat them like kings. But as long as they...
That does sound unusual. No matter then. If they've already left our shores, there's little that can be done. Allow me, and with it, my interest in joining your organization.
My associates will be sorry to hear that.
I'm sorry you weren't able to save.
As am I. But I only have... He was right. The Silver Peak Consortium did intend to buy those bearers before Their representative hinted at a possible purchase when he came to recruit. I feigned interest in joining them in the hope he might be encouraged to tell me more. And he did just that. As soon as he left, I sent my own offer to Randalar.
So you...
No. I entertained the Consortium's proposal solely so I could learn more about those bears. I was a fool to think they wouldn't find out. I knew exactly who I was dealing.
You tried.
I did. And if what he said was true, the bearers are to be well treated. Which is something. They deserved more. I wanted so bad.
Eloise! Eloise! Word from Cashlock. The village is under attack. A pack of beasts have come down from the mountains. Theo and the others are trying. They need help.
Theo,
I'll go on.
Thank you. I'll gather...
Hold on, Theo. I'm coming.